I did a video earlier on why people control you, but this video I want to focus on how systems control the human collective. So it's less about individuals experiencing control in their lives, but a broader scope, the macro application of this. It's a little bit different. It's the same, but it's different. In order to control an entire human collective, an entire human population, you need to scare them, number one. They need to be in a state of fear. If everyone was operating from a state of love, there would be no things being rolled out. There wouldn't need to be. But because we're vibrating at a human collective aggregate consciousness of fear, a lot of stuff's going to happen to wake people up to the fear that they don't know that they're in. And COVID-19, that narrative is just kind of like the kickoff event to a whole new world. Okay, so back to control. They have to be, the human collective has to be in a state of fear, and there has to be some kind of unknown. Because right now, we have a really bad relationship, again, collectively with the unknown. So a virus, something you can't see in the air. The more I see this and feel into this, the more I feel like it's gonna become a reality in our reality, which is a UFO narrative, an extraterrestrial narrative. Because again, that's something unknown. Climate change. Most of us, again, collectively aren't really connected to nature, and the idea of impending doom with nature, with climate change, with intense heat, with tornadoes, with earthquakes, etc., fires, floods, etc., that those unknowns scare the shit out of people too. So that's another narrative that is clearly being invested in. And then anything like that, anything that is an unknown. And again, just coming back to the COVID-19 narrative, because you can't see it, and because these things, a virus that can kill you, Mother Nature, UFOs, aliens, because all this stuff seems so big and daunting to the human ego, we, again, unbeknownst to many people, acquiesce and give our power away to governments, to big corporations, to systems that swoop in and say, oh, we'll help. You need our protection, because without us and your guns, that's a whole other video. I'm not going to get into that in this video. But without us, the government, without us, the healthcare communities, without us, philanthropic societies that care about the environment, you're going to be doomed. You're going to die, is the subconscious message. So just pay attention to this. Pay attention to what narratives are building steam. And I mean, I'm sure I'll do many, many more videos on this as these storylines gain traction and awareness in the human collective. But just for the sake of UFOs and aliens, you are safe. You are safe. There is no ETs on this earth right now that want to do harm to you. But with that said, and again, use this, apply it as you wish to viruses, to climate change, whatever. Just because they actually don't want to do any harm to humans and actually help us, doesn't mean that what's always been there in the air, in the sky, naturally changing environments, etc. Just because they've always been there doesn't mean that the media or these systems that like to control will paint it that way. And just because they're harmless doesn't mean that the media will tell you that. I can almost guarantee, again, I don't know for sure, but where the traction is kind of going with these UFO stories is they're dangerous, they're a threat, they're unknown, you should be very afraid, you're going to need protection from them. And I'm telling you right now that you don't. You don't. But watch, again, who knows what's going to happen. I know I know shit's going to happen. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but shit has to happen, you know, like COVID again is just kind of the very, very, very beginning and the kickoff pregame to humanity up-leveling. So just watch for these things and know that you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to live in fear, and to be very inquisitive about what is presented as absolute truth on outlets and platforms that you may have trusted since you were a very little child. Have a good night.